Hello everyone, God bless you all. Dear students, we will proceed towards our next geography chapter inside our earth. So today we will do comparative analysis. If you have ever worked around with peeling an onion, you would see there are many concentric rings. Now you will see different layers of onion which are visible only when you cross section it or when you cut it. So this shape you will find in earth's interior. So this is the outermost layer which is known as crust. Mainly there are three layers of the earth: crust, mantle and core. And core is further divided into two parts, outer and inner core. Now we will discuss all these layers one by one. We will do comparative analysis. Let's start with crust. Now here crust. Do you know crust is the thinnest layer? Thinnest here mean to say comparatively other layers. Comparative to other layers, it is thinnest layer. And it is the uppermost layer, means which is made up of solid rocks like different physical variations on the earth, like mountains, plateaus, valleys, plains, right? So you have already studied these things when we study the importance of lithosphere, right? And lithosphere, why do we use lithosphere? The outer crust of the earth for our settlements, for our food, for our shelter. So, and ocean, the water of oceans we need for our daily uses. So crust is the thinnest as well as the uppermost layer of the earth. Now crust is further divided into two parts, continental as well as oceanic part. So continental part is 35 kilometer deep and it is made up of two minerals. Si means silica, Al means aluminium. So in combined we will call it Sial. And oceanic part, which is 5 kilometers deep, it is again made up of two minerals. Si means silica and Ma means magnesium. So it is known as Sima, Sial and Sima. So look here now. The third important thing about crust is it is just look like a jigsaw puzzle. Jigsaw puzzle means like in the game you are to fit the different type of pieces according to the game. In the same manner, if we are talking about crust, it is an arrangement of rocks fitted together. In previous class I told you that it was previously considered that earth was a single landmass. Look here, these are different continents. These were previously a single landmass. Like this is North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. But due to the plate tectonic movements, due to the movement of plates inside the earth, these were divided into 7 parts, 7 landmasses. These 7 landmasses are known as continents, and the water in between these continents is known as the oceanic water. So it means crust is the thinnest and uppermost layer where it has all type of different physical variations like mountains, valleys, plateaus, plains in the continental mass, and afterward it has also the oceanic boundaries also, right? So we will discuss now mantle. Now mantle, it is the second layer below the lithosphere, or we can say below the crust. It is the second layer. It is about 2900 kilometers thick and it contributes 85% by volume and 64% by mass, or we can say weight. How much weight of mantle is 64%. Now it is like The crust is made up of sial and sima, the two mixtures of different minerals, and here it is made of iron but mainly silicates. And the upper mantle as well as mantle has also two parts, upper mantle and lower mantle. You know, in upper mantle part it is also known as asthenosphere, and here in mantle part there the liquid material which is very viscous, which is very weak and ductile. Viscous means it is not just like a water, liquid in the sense it is a viscous type material. Viscous minerals look like a tar or molten magma. Viscous means which is a sticky substance, and when the plates of the earth moves, it moves very slowly due to viscousness. Otherwise, if it will just look like a water, then the plates will move very fast and the earthquakes will happen one by one. So this is mainly made up of viscous material, which is also known as magma. When the magma became when the magma is at very high temperature, then it causes or it make the reason of volcanic eruption. Let's discuss about core, which is the third layer of the earth. Its radius is about 3500 km and it is made up of again two types of minerals. First one is iron and second is nickel. Ni stands for nickel and Fe stands for iron. So it is a mixture of Fe. It is also known as Fe. It has very high temperature and pressure of the upper belts like mantle and crust. So it contributes 15% of Earth's volume. Its mass and weight is near about 32.5%. So the main characteristic, the main feature of this layer is it has very high density and pressure increases towards its center. So students, as we have discussed about three different layers of the earth, and you must know about the discontinuity, must know about the boundary lines. What do we call the different boundary lines in between these three layers? So what is the meaning of discontinuity and boundary? You know, when there is changes in structure of all the layers. What I said? Changes in structure. It means it must have some boundary lines which will tell us that here lies the changes in structure. So come here. Crust has further divided into two parts, upper crust, lower crust. Upper crust has a liquid state and lower part has a solid state. So in between upper and lower crust there is a boundary line which is known as Conrad boundary. Conrad boundary tells us that what is in the upper side of me? Liquid. I am liquid in state and I am solid in state at the lower side. So Conrad boundary is between crust upper and lower level, right? So afterward crust, what will come next? Mantle layer. So mantle layer is also further divided into two parts, upper layer and lower layer. Upper layer which is again liquid in state and that is lower is in solid in state. Now the boundary between the upper and lower layer of mantle is known as Rappetti boundary, and again upper layer has some another name. Upper mantle layer has another name which is known as asthenosphere, And now again in the same manner, where lies the another boundary line between mantle and core? So what is the boundary line between mantle and core? That boundary line is known as Gutenberg boundary. And furthermore, core is again divided into two parts, upper layer, lower layer, and lower layer is also known as the inner layer of the earth. So between upper and lower layer there is a boundary line which tells us that there is change in nature of the structure. What is the changing nature? The upper one is liquid and the lower one is solid in state. Now this boundary is known as Lehman boundary. So look here carefully. Conrad boundary between crust's part and Rapeti boundary between mantle's two part and Lehman's boundary between core's parts. And what are the in between crust and mantle boundaries? Moho boundary and Gutenberg boundary. So look at carefully. Now we have done the comparative analysis between all the three layers of the earth. So students, I have a video for you people which will clear your aspect when you see practically in front of you. So dear kids, have a glance on the video.
You will learn about the internal structure of the earth. To understand the structure of the earth, first, let's get a background on how the earth was formed. It happened 4.5 billion years ago. The earth then was nothing like what it is today. The earth started off as a round ball of homogeneous, molten material revolving around the sun. As the liquid slowly cooled down, the denser materials that formed the earth solidified and sank to the center of the earth, where they formed a metallic core. At the same time, the lighter, less dense elements were pushed out toward the surface, where they formed the Earth's crust. This led to the formation of the Earth with several different layers of material, very much like an onion. These layers are arranged one on top of the other. The outermost layer is the solid crust. Next is the highly viscous layer called the mantle. Below the mantle is the liquid outer core of the earth. A solid inner core forms the earth's innermost layer. The topmost layer, the crust, is the thinnest layer. This layer can be classified into oceanic crust and continental crust. The oceanic crust, that is, the crust beneath the oceans, is only about 5 kilometers thick. On the other hand, the continental crust can be as thick as 35 kilometers. However, considering the Earth's size, the crust is quite thin. Suppose the Earth was scaled down to the size of a football. Can you guess how thick the crust would be? It would be about half a millimeter thick. The Earth's crust is at its thinnest in places such as the Rift Valley in East Africa and thickest under mountain ranges. The continental crust is composed of two minerals, silica and alumina. The combination of these two elements gives it the name Siam. The oceanic crust, on the other hand, is mostly made up of silica and magnesium and is called Cyber. Did you know? When the Earth's crust gets ruptured, the hot, molten magma, ash and gases come out from the core to the surface of the Earth. This results in the formation of a volcano. The magma that is released on the surface of the Earth is called lava. The Hawaiian Islands are said to have formed due to undersea volcanic activities. The crust, however, makes up only 0.5 to 1% of the Earth's volume. So what about the other components that make up the Earth? Well, 83% of the Earth is made up of the mantle, and the remaining 16% consists of the inner and the outer cores. The mantle lies just below the Earth's crust and is 2,900 kilometers deep. That makes it the thickest among all the layers that comprise the Earth. It is made up of viscous material. The temperature and the pressure within the mantle are high, as it is located below the crust. That makes the material of the mantle very viscous, which means, although it is in liquid form, it does not flow freely. This material inside the mantle is more viscous than tar and is known as magma. It is semi-solid and can flow. Magma is contained within the magma chamber. Finally, as you go deeper inside the Earth, you come to the core. The core consists of an outer core and an inner core. The outer core lies just below the mantle and is mainly made up of nickel and iron. This combination gives it the name knife. The materials within the outer core are in a liquid state. Considering how high the temperatures in the outer core are, can you guess what the conditions in the inner core would be like? It would be even hotter. The temperatures in the inner core range from 5,000 to 6,000 degrees Celsius. You may be wondering why the inner core is solid despite such high temperatures. The pressure in the inner core is so high that the material gets solidified. Did you know? The core as a structural element of the Earth was discovered in 1906 by R.D. Oldham. During his study of earthquake records, it was the first such internal structural element of the Earth to be identified. In this module, you learn that layers of material.
So dear kids, in next video I will tell you regarding your fair notes, as well as I'll send you one worksheet for starting your fair notes. Till that moment, have a good day ahead. Enjoy yourself.